Good morning, Mrs. Ogden.
Morning, Mrs. Walker. Oh, it's lovely out. One of them good-to-be-alive mornings, isn't it?
I particularly wanted it early this morning. I wanted to scrub the living room floor in readiness for the new carpet.
Is that the carpet Eddie Yates is supposed to be getting you?
The one with my initials woven into it. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't want to be a wet blanket, Mrs. Walker, but I know Eddie Yates, and I think you're heading for a disappointment. And you give him some money too, didn't you?
Really, Bet, I am a very good judge of character, and I am quietly confident. Do realise that you're 20 minutes late, Mrs. Ogden?
Oh, yeah, well, I started off in good time, but I got held up. The wounded soldier coming home.
Ken's not back, is he?
Yeah, come just now in an ambulance. Well, I had to have a word, welcome him home, like. You do if you're a good neighbour, don't you? That's what being a good neighbour's all about.
Doesn't take 20 minutes, Mrs. Ogden.
Ah, well, yeah, you can't be a clock watcher and a good Samaritan, Mrs. Walker. Any road, I had a word and he's not broken nothing. He's just torn his lineaments. That's like his muscles. Ooh, it sounds nasty, does that? Hope it never happens to Stan.
It only happens when you exert yourself, Hilda, so Stan's in no danger.
I wish everybody had stopped saying my Stan's lazy.
What is he then?
Well, it's just he believes in conserving his energy.
He must have conserved enough to run a railway.
Now, Mrs. Ogden, I want you to start in the living room.
Oh, I generally do in here first, Mrs. Walker.
In the living room, Mrs. Ogden. I want you to take up the carpet, scrub the floor. I don't want an expensive new carpet laid on a dirty floor.
Well, if it's that carpet Eddie Yates is supposed to be getting you, I think I'm wasting my time and your money.
Bet, I don't want her sidetracked from the living room today, dear. So I think we ought to arrange the cleaning in here ourselves.
I've only got one pair of hands, Mrs. Walker. I can't do any more than I'm doing now.
Bet, a job shared is a job halved. I intend to pull my weight.
Why don't you get Betty back?
I've asked her more than once, dear. I cannot keep running after her.
Morning. Lovely day.
I wouldn't know. When you work here, you never get to see sunlight.
Morning, Annie. You wanted to see me about something?
Yes, I did, and thank you for coming so promptly. Don't go, Bet, this concerns you.
I've nowhere to go, Mrs. Walker.
Alf, I'm going away next week, and Bet will be left here holding the fort on her own. Now, I was thinking, instead of the place being empty at night, who better to fill the breach than you?
Oh. Me?
Yes, I thought you might move in, sleep here, and simply be on the premises. Well, you've no family ties, have you? And they do say a change is as good as a rest.
Well, I'm sorry, Annie, love, but it's not on. I mean, as it happens, I've got a lot of things to do next week. Even if I hadn't, I don't think I'd take it on.
Oh, dear, and I was rather banking on you. You see, with Fred away, the place will be deserted unless I cancel my holiday.
Well, I'm sorry, Annie. Anyway, it's a bit short notice, isn't it?
I was so looking forward to it.
Look, Mrs. Walker, I don't mind moving in here while you're away. It doesn't bother me being on my own at night. What bothers me is being on my own behind this bar. There'll just be me running an entire pub on my own.
Oh, that's a bit rough.
Well, you're not kidding. Honestly, Mrs. Walker, I do wish you'd ring the Labour Exchange and see what barmaids they've got.
I don't like going through the Labour Exchange. One can easily get the wrong sort of person.
They're only out of work, that's all that's wrong with them.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's not a medium I care to use. I like to have personal knowledge of anyone I'm going to employ.
Oh, well, I might be able to help you there. There's a lady lives near me, Mrs. Perks. Now, her daughter's a barmaid, and I think she's looking for work. Do you want me to ask her to come round?
Oh, if you think she's suitable.
I'll ask her now. Can I use the phone?
You've caught me in rather a mess, I'm afraid. Only I'm having a new carpet laid. Something rather special. Now, I gather from Councillor Roberts that you're looking for work.
That's right. I'm between jobs just now.
You are experienced to help, aren't you? Everybody has to learn, I know, but I do need someone who knows the ropes.
Oh, yes. I've worked in hotels and pubs for nearly 10 years. Some very good places. I was at Moorcock. Don't know if you know it.
Very nice place, yes.
Well, I was in cocktail bar there for 2 years. Worked at commercial in town. Round table have all the do's there.
I see. I would need to see some references, of course.
Oh, yes. I thought you would, so I brought them.
Thank you. Very glowing. You certainly seem to have impressed Mr.
Eptonstall.
Cyril Heptonstall. Oh, I know him well. Where exactly do you live, Miss...
Alexandra Terrace, just off Park Road.
Not far, is it? Quite an easy walk. I don't think I know your first name.
Dawn.
Dawn, yes. Well, you're certainly experienced. You're not married, are you?
Oh, no, I've no entanglements.
And you would want a job here?
Oh, yes, I won't come wasting your time. And I can start as soon as you want.
Splendid. Start this evening.
Thanks very much.
There is just one thing, Dawn. I do like my stuff to be smart and neat.
Oh, naturally. I know I look a bit of a tuttle at the moment, only I rushed right round, you see, when I got a message off me mum, and I didn't have time to do myself up.
Of course you didn't. Well, welcome to the Rovers.
Thanks.
Chop, chop, darling, I'm dying of thirst here.
Wait your sweat, Fairclough. Any road earnings before you. Well, where's Madam? You might well ask. Just now she's interviewing a prospective barmaid, but if you ask me, it'll end up Muggins here doing lots.
It's a half a bit
I am doing my best, Ern.
I'll say goodbye for the present.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, I'm run off my feet, Mrs. Walker. I'm like a sparrow trying to feed 10 cuckoos.
Your troubles are over, Bet. Yes, Len?
A vodka lime and a pint of bitter love.
What was wrong with her then?
Well, quite a number of things, I dare say, Bet, but you'll find out for yourself. She's starting this evening.
You've taken her on? Oh.
Sound surprised?
No, I mean, I don't know the girls from Adam. Hey, folks, that was your new barmaid that just walked through the door.
Due to the kind offices of Alf here. She's not a perfect choice, of course, but she seems experienced and she is willing.
You fixed it up with that job?
Well, yeah, I suppose I did. I know, Mother.
You want your flipping head feeling, you. We want some talent behind that bar. Don't you know any mothers with beauty queens who are daughters who want jobs behind bars?
Hey, when you come in here for a pint, you're not coming for an appointment with Venus, you know. Don't matter what girl looks like.
I cannot agree with you there, Rita. When a bloke comes into a pub after a hard day's work, it's not just for the beer and the company. We want to see a pretty face there.
I see. Does Emily share this point of view?
I
Thought not. You're just like Len. Anyway, what makes you think a barmaid's a sex object?
What makes you think she isn't?
Just all that's all open, will you, pal? Sam, yeah, Mrs. Walker. One special order bespoke carpet.
I don't believe it yet. It's kept his word.
I always do to me friends. Well, nearly always.
Just a moment, Mr. Yates, if you please.
There we are, Mrs. Walker. Capital A, capital W.
Splendid. Take it through.
Right, come on, Charlie.
What time did you tell her to be here, Mrs. Walker? I mean, it's gone 7, and we're running around like scolded hamsters.
I just said the evening session.
Well, don't tell me she don't know what time licensing hours are around here. If you ask me, Mrs. Walker, going off for looks and everything, you've picked a right dub there.
Unfortunate, Bet. I have to put up with the stuff I can get, which is not necessarily the stuff I would like.
Ouch.
And Leonard, what are you having? I'm buying.
You've been robbing a bank?
Me commission on Mrs. Walker's carpet.
Come on, which lorry did it fall off the back of?
That carpet is legit. Dead legit. It couldn't be more legit if it had a birth certificate.
Hey. The view has improved all of a sudden.
Evening, Mrs. Walker.
Is it Miss Pearce?
Reporting for duty.
I'd hardly have recognised you.
Where shall I put my coat?
In here, in the hall.
Right.
Is that the new barmaid? The one that was here at lunchtime?
Can't be.
Bet?
Of course it's her.
Well, I didn't know she looked like that.
Evening, gentlemen. Anyone want serving?
Yes, love, I do. I'm Eddie Yates, a businessman round here, and I'm buying. And there'll be one for you.
Oh, thanks.
You know, I more or less got you this job. I know your mother. My name's Alf Roberts.
What's your name, love?
Dawn.
Oh, that's very nice.
Dawn, eh? I'll tell you what, Dawn, you can come creeping over my bedroom windowsill any time you want.
I can see I'm going to have trouble with you lot. I'm glad to say.
Tune in tomorrow at 6:30 when Ken puts his proposition to Peter and Dawn causes ructions at the Rovers. Next tonight, Granada Plus gets the tinsel and tree out for a Christmas surprise.
did exhibitions, demonstrating gadgets, that sort of thing.
I should have thought you'd have made a bomb demonstrating.
Oh, you can if you don't mind murderous hours. Myself, I prefer this job any day. At least you don't have to flog beer. It sells itself, doesn't it?
So you think you like working here?
Working in a pub might not pay as well as demonstrating does, but I enjoy it. And I think there's a lot to be said for job satisfaction, don't you?
Oh, indeed I do. That is why I've dedicated myself to the licensed trade. To me, it's not just a way of earning a living. It's a service in every sense of the word.
And it's friendly, too. You get to know your customers.
Mrs. Walker doesn't like us to be too friendly, do you, Mrs. Walker?
I certainly expect my customers to have respect for my staff. I'm a great believer in personal dignity.
We all are here. We dig dignity.
You know, this may not be the smartest house in the trade, but I like to think that it's an oasis of peace and calm in a troubled world.
Am I going here now, Mrs. Walker, because I've finished everywhere else?
Not with that, I hope.
Pardon, I can't hear you.
Then switch it off.
Oh, yes. There you are. Now, what was you saying?
I told you, you never use a vacuum cleaner on a new carpet.
New carpet? Oh, I forgot. Mind you, you'd had the other such a long time, hadn't you? No, of course you want me to use the brush on it, don't you?
And gently. If you know what the word means.
Touched her this morning, isn't she?
It's that sort of world, Hilda.
Hey, over here, darling, there's a tasty man waiting.
Look, I don't want to be awkward or anything, but I was here first. I do have to get back to work. Half a bitter, please.
Send him to the back of the queue, Dawn, darling. Save the unmarried blokes like me first.
Did I say you could call me Dawn?
Why not? You can call me Edward Gerald Timothy Yates, or Loverboy for short.
You can serve me if you like, Betchup, seeing as you seem to be stood there doing nothing.
Yes, Hilda, what can I get you? A double cyanide?
Ooh, can't you do better than that?
No.
By what bit of witchcraft did you con Queen Annie into that?
Very efficient.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
I never knew she looked like that, did I?
You must have done. You recommended her.
Not necessarily. With head squared on and no makeup, you wouldn't give her a second look.
Oh, well, I've got news for you. We all look like that to start with, but you've got to have the basic ingredients to finish up looking like that. Like the old saying goes, you can't make bricks without straw.
I can't see Annie complain anyway. She seems to be keeping the customers happy.
Oh, yes, she's keeping the customers happy, all right. But I don't see her doing much for staff relationships.
Back in a couple of hours, girls, and just going to the hairdressers.
It don't look like it needs doing to me, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, thank you. I do try to keep as well groomed as possible. But with going away, you see, and Billy has a lot of friends on the island. One moment, Mrs. Upton.
Billy?
Her son and heir, he lives on the island.
What, in Jersey?
Yes, he's quite attractive, he's got no problems, and he's just a few years older than you.
Really?
And he's not a tax exile, and he's only a barman, and he likes them young.
Younger than you mean?
You've met your match there, Bet.
You must be joking.
Oh, and one final thing, Mrs. Ogden.
I thought there might be one final thing.
Yes. Well, in case I don't see you before I leave, you will take extra special care of the carpet, won't you?
I'll look after it as though it were me own.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, great. You spoil your Billy, you know.
I've already bought him a shirt and tie. But I saw this in that very nice men's boutique opposite my hairdresser's. I couldn't resist it. Blue's always been Billy's colour.
Did he sell nice men? In the nice men's... Like I said, you spoil him.
I wish I could. When do I see him? Twice a year?
Well, is there no chance of him ever coming back?
I doubt it. He's happy there, and that's the main thing. He's applied for a job as manager of a small hotel, and he's very hopeful about it. Would be another step up.
Well, I can't say I blame him. Jersey's bound to be better than round here. Anywhere has to be.
Don't maybe we stay here.
Well, I don't hear you knocking it, Mrs. Walker. I always thought you were our local patriot.
I've never denied that there's a great big world outside, but we're not bound by any chains other than habit.
You are. You've got this place.
Oh, bricks and mortar. Look, I've devoted to my life to this place, but when all's said and done, it isn't even mine. I'm just a tenant. Theoretically, there is nothing to stop me retiring. Going to live in some nice little seaside town or in the country.
I've even less to time, me. No home, no family. No.
Friends?
You always make new ones. No, I could just as easily be serving rum punches on some tropical beach somewhere as best fitted to that lot out there. But I won't. I'll be here till they carry me out feet first. And I'm not proud of it. There's plenty I've got get up and go. She has, for instance.
Dawn?
Yeah?
And you wish you would get up and go?
Oh, Mrs. Walker, would I say a thing like that?
Yes, I'm stronger, but not in my presence. Bet, dear, I realise she could be an irritant to you. But do try and get on with it, dear, while I'm away, for my sake.
All right, I'll try.
Good. It's a load off my mind.
What time's Mr. Walker going?
Any minute now.
And then it's gloves off.
Eh?
Look, love, I know you don't like me much, but try not to stick a corkscrew between my shoulder blades when my back's turned, eh?
As long as you do your job proper, I can't say you bother me one way or another.
No?
No. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another employee. A junior employee.
That's right. 10 years, you junior. Yeah, Mr. Bishop, what can I get you? Half a bitter, isn't it?
Well, she's certainly not behind the door.
Huh? Oh, it looks like that temporary assistant of yours is going to become permanent.
Yeah.
Well, don't look so pleased.
Betty, I like having her there. But the shop won't support two as things stand.
Now, Al, are you sure you want to run me to the airport? At least to get a taxi.
Look, I've told you, Annie, I don't mind. I shall enjoy the run. I like a bit of plane spotting.
We'll make sure everything goes smoothly once you're up.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Walker. You just relax and enjoy yourself and give my love to Billy. You did say I was in full charge, didn't you, Mrs. Walker?
Well, naturally.
Then I give you my sworn guarantee there will be no problems. Bet Lynch runs a very tight ship.
She once went out with a sailor. You're so right.
See you later.
I feel sure that Bet will help us to settle it.
Bye-bye, Mrs. Walker. Have a nice time.
Ta-ra, Mr. Walker. Have a nice time. See you when you get back. See you. She is going to Jersey. I mean, they're not off for a mucky weekend somewhere, are they? No.
I'll do that. You do the ashtray.
Oh, yeah? Do what with ashtrays?
Empty 'em.
That's cleaner's job.
She's not here, is she, Chuck? This is a very small establishment. We have no demarcation lines here. We all muck in.
I was employed by Mrs. Walker as a barmaid, not a skivvy.
Mrs. Walker can settle that when she gets back. Meanwhile, she's only just gone and she's left me in full charge and the flipping ashtrays wants emptying. Dawn, dear.
Right, that's me finished. I'm off home. Oh, bye, heck. You lower the tone of this place, don't you?
Are you speaking to me, Hilda, or were it just your corsets rubbing together?
Still not dressed at this time of day. Mrs. Walker'd turn in her grave if she wasn't at her Jonies.
And she's left me in full charge, hasn't she? So I'll stop undressed all day if I've a mind to.
What's that on your face, plaster of Paris?
It's a face pack, Hilda. You put it on, you take it off, and you're all bright and beautiful.
Ah. Don't work, does it?
You tired of living, Hilda? Because if you don't arrange to be on your way, I shall arrange for my thumbs to meet across your throat.
You know, I think it's the life you lead myself. Well, it's bound to take its toll, isn't it? Fags, booze, fellas. Ruin a cart horse with that.
Hilda.
I mean, this new girl's not that much younger than you, really, is she? I bet she don't put all that stuff on her face to look bright and beautiful. See you later.
Nor if you're wise, you won't.
Bird.
Well, you've got to show willing, haven't you? Especially when you're new.
That's more than your gaffer does.
Why? What's wrong with her?
Thought you were going, Hilda.
See what I mean?
Morning. What kept you up all night?
I've had a very good night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I thought...
You thought what?
Nothing. I've just remembered. It's first time I've ever seen you in your natural state.
I look no worse than you did, lady, morning you come to see Mrs. Walker about a job here.
Oh, now, Bet, be fair. I know I weren't looking my best that morning, but if I'd looked like you do now, Mrs. Walker wouldn't even have seen me without a bodyguard.
Your days are definitely numbered, love.
Here with it.
If they can't control hooligans like that, now, why are they asking me to be a good lad? Now, go on, tell me why.
But you will be a good lad, won't you? Hey, well, fairly. I mean, that's why these Charlies keep getting away with it.
I don't follow you.
Because they're the ones that are willing to do something about it. Throw a few punches. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see. We should be out there calling their bluff.
Right, exactly.
Right, next time.
Where's he?
I'm not kidding you. I sit there watching television at home and I get a flaming headache watching a flaming headache. I'm all boiling up, you know. What a world.
Well, you've done your share throwing your weight around. So I heard.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't want to take over the country, though, did I? I only wanted a few fellas' guts every now and again. And where's the arm in there?
There you are, gentlemen. Service with a smile.
And the rest, darling.
Now, keep it clean.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Have one yourself.
Gin and tonic, all right?
Money well spent.
Of course.
How about that?
All right, Alf, control yourself. Chap of your age leering, it's a bit obscene, isn't it?
Hey? Oh, hello, Bet. She's very attractive, isn't she?
If you like that time.
I do.
Alf. Next time we need a barmaid, remind me to tell Mrs. Walker not to take any recommendation of yours. You're at a very funny age. Which one of them two is drinking gin, then?
None of them, I am.
You'll be putting your money in the till?
Mike's paid for it.
Bit naughty, that, isn't it? Stinging him for a gin.
He didn't complain. He never does. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
When's your night off, darling?
Dunno, I'll have to ask why.
Oh, now, come on, don't be coy.
Me, coy? You must be joking.
Is that a promise?
Be careful, darling. He's after your honour.
I should hope so.
No, I wouldn't have thought it possible that anybody could inject such poetry into drawing half a pint of beer.
Who's your friend?
She's delightful, isn't she? I mean, she's so, sexy. Well, that wasn't the word I was thinking of, but yes. Oh, thanks. Sure you won't have one yourself?
No, I've got one, thanks.
All right.
Have I offended you, Al?
Hey?
Well, you've been giving me black looks ever since you come in.
Well, you caused me a bit of trouble, haven't you?
Have I? How?
We're getting bits back up, that's how. I mean, don't overdo the... Well, you know, don't overdo it.
Overdo what, Al?
You know.
Do you know what he's talking about,
Sorry,
Mr.
I'm the
Bishop?
faintest idea.
Then I can't take his advice, can I?
Wakey.
Oh, hello, love. What are you in?
Well, not much cheerful husbandly companionship, that's for sure, so I'll have a vodka and lime.
Masha, vodka and lime when you got a minute, Dawn, love.
What's up with you? You're all right this morning. Not feeling bilious again, are you?
Oh, usual thing, love. State of the country.
There is nothing wrong with the state of the country that bringing back the cane wouldn't cure. We've all got food in our bellies and money for booze. At least you two have. Me, I'm as skint as an igloo salesman in Africa.
I tell you what, I'm looking after number one from now on, you know. I mean, there's nobody out there representing me, so I'm going to represent my flaming self. Two can work that game, you know.
How long's it been like this?
Well, I think I started it. I mentioned militant extremists.
Oh, you didn't, did you? Oh, heck. Oh.
What's the matter with you?
Me? Nothing. My life's one lovely sweet song. I've got no problem.
2 light bottles, please, darling.
Light bottles? You don't drink bottled beer, and neither do I, come to think of it.
You know what it is, don't you? Light bottles are on bottom shelf, so I have to get down, don't I? And if he's lucky...
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, go ahead, love, if it gives them a thrill. They don't grow up, you know, none of them.
Oh, you can say that again.
I still don't know what you're on about.
I'm just trying to remember when was the last time you lost your eyeballs over my legs.
Oh, a couple of years back.
Should I hit him with them?
Oh, no, don't bother, love. It's no use. He's thick as well as having these funny ways.
Yeah, he looks it.
Keep the change, sweetheart.
I'll kill you, Langton.
I don't know what you're on about.
You can take a break if you want. I've made you a cup of tea and there's a tongue sandwich.
Oh, thanks very much.
Just one thing.
Yeah?
It's not a competition, you know.
What in?
Between us as to who can look the smartest.
I always wear this kind of gear.
No, not anymore. I'd prefer you to wear something plainer, if you don't mind. There's been complaints.
Oh, yeah. OK, you're the boss.
She don't believe in hiding much, does she?
Oh, don't worry. I've taken care of that.
I was asking her when her night off was.
Ooh, round about Christmas, I should think, if she's still breathing.
You know, it's a terrible thing, Bet. Jealousy.
Oh, I'm not jealous, Mike. It's her I'm thinking about. I wouldn't wish you on my worst enemy.
That lad you'd just taken on was in here this morning. Nice kid.
Seems all right, yeah.
Well, compared with some, you see.
Do you know what I was on my youth? A teddy boy. Look at me now. See ya.
Well, I don't know what Mrs. Walker were doing either in Rick's first place.
She was con love like the rest of us.
Subject normal, is it?
Huh?
Talking about the new barmaid like you have been doing ever since you landed.
You're exaggerating, Betty, love. I couldn't care less about Dawn, whatever her name is. Any pause for me?
Yeah, a couple of things on the sideboard in there, look. She doesn't, you know. She never stops talking about it. And not very complimentary either. What's she really like? I mean, you hear so many different stories.
Well, she's got all fellas going anyway, including Ray.
Oh.
I think that's what's got Bet bugged.
Well, bound to. She likes to think she's the belle of the Rovers, does Bet.
Well, she's had her nose pushed out this time, that's for sure.
Hey, look at that.
It's true, you know. The first pint of the day is always the best one. All the rest is downhill.
Well, why not call it a night, then? Why go on supping if you're not enjoying it?
Bet, my darling, civilization as we know it is certain things happening whatever.
Tradition.
Yeah, well, tradition, if you like drinking a couple of pints of a night, even if you're enjoying them or not.
Ah, well, now, you see, that's where my Stan has the advantage, because he does enjoy them. First, last, and the umpteen in between. Oh, he's a very lucky fella in lots of ways, is my Stan. He'll tell you so himself.
Where is he, by the way? It's unusual for him not to be in it this time.
He's out collecting, which really means he's on a pub crawl. Do you know, I reckon Stan must have springs in his pockets. He drops money in and it bounces straight out again, usually into a pub till.
You're a philosopher, Hilda, do you know that?
Oh, I have to be.
Are you going to have another one, Hilda?
Oh, why not? Sauce for the gander.
Dead right.
Al, what did I tell you?
What did she tell you?
That you'd be in here instead of at home. Do you know we're getting into some right common habits? Drinking before we've even made tea.
This is cocktail hour.
Yes, but that lot in Mayfair aren't supping pints of wallop, you know.
They'll be drinking martinis and eating canapes.
Exactly, so that's what I'm going to have. A dry martini. Al?
Pint of wallop.
No use. The dead rough, kid. You'll just have to live with them.
Yeah, like me.
Hey, before I forget, Mavis has got a problem.
Oh, I?
She wants to move back into flat.
That's no problem. She can.
Oh, well, you tell her.
I will.
Good. Still in a bad mood?
No!
Oh, you could have fooled me.
Ta-da!
Oh, thank you, kind sir.
My homage to a princess.
Oh, you read that in the book.
I thought I just made it up. Evening all. Just settling in for the night, are we? Right, mine's a large Scotch, you ever Spain?
Me, I am.
Oh, couldn't happen to a nicer fella.
Hey, remember what I said this afternoon?
What about?
Your appearance.
Oh, that? Yeah, I remembered.
Good. Scotch, is it?
Yes, please, Blossom.
Hey, you know, you said. I don't think Mavis is going to be able to afford 15 quid a week for that flat.
Well, you tell her.
Why can't you?
Because you're the property tycoon.
I keep telling you I'm looking after number one.
Oh, so you keep saying.
Well, does this suit? Well?
Very fetching, Dawn, love. Very fetching. What do you say, Alf?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to like it.
Here. Found out when your night off is?
Don't rush me.
Well, what about after work then, like tonight? If you let me get a word in edgeways, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's all right for you. You're one of the bosses. You're laughing. Look, if it wasn't for the trade unions...
If it wasn't for the trade unions, we'd all be laughing, including your 1.5 million that are unemployed.
You're talking through your hat. It's not the unions that have put them out of work.
All right, now, just a minute. Let's put it another way, then. Who's going to put them back in a job, eh? The trade unions or the bosses? Now, if you can't answer that, you must be a bit weak in the head.
Well, I'll be weak in the head if I agree to work for a full week for less than a working wage. And that's what the bosses want. Look, if you've a choice between working and starving, why do both? The working classes have done that for long enough.
You're living in the past. I've been a boss for a while. I've never shot a striker yet.
Starvation wages. There's folks still living round here who can tell you what that was like.
Well, they must be very exceptional people.
They are. Remarkable people.
Well, they must be. I mean, to live to a ripe old age after nearly starving to death, I call that remarkable.
Yeah, go on, Skit. Look, it's a good job.
Now,
Some of
just
us
a minute,
haven't forgotten what...
We haven't got Ray's undivided attention. Alf's trying to tell us about the working classes' heroic struggle.
Listen, I'm having my own private heroic struggle over there. And if I lose the struggle, I'll be across that bar and I'll do 3 years for it.
Yeah, well, my glass is empty, so while you're on the way...
You're just a capitalist hyena.
Gentlemen?
Yes, I'll be gentle with you.
Sorry?
Would you mind just going back down the bar and walking over here again?
Why?
Oh, you'd slap my face if I told you.
Oh, that'd be nice. I haven't slapped a lad's face since I was 14.
Haven't you?
Well, I've not heard anything new since then.
Well, stick around, darling. I'll be here at closing time.
I bet you're all talk. Same again, is it?
Yeah, why not?
Mike, I hate to bother you.
Bother me? No, don't bother me.
Martindale's been on from Southport.
You're bothering me.
That chap Steve hasn't turned up.
Where is he?
I don't know, but he hasn't delivered. For the last 15 minutes, Martindale's been pouring multicoloured words into my ear hole. Now, what was I to tell him?
Well, tell him anything, convince him we promised him faithfully. Now, where is Steve, then? Believe me, Mr. Martindale, I sent a very reliable lad. Yeah, I know he's not arrived. Look, I'm sorry if I've kept you hanging around. I just can't apologise enough. Yes, I know, I understand that. I know you've got a business to run, and so have I. Mr. Martindale, look, believe you me, I'm not leaving this office until I find out what's happened. Oh, thank you, Mr. Martindale. Thank you very much for your understanding. Yes, first thing in the morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Martindale. Goodbye.
There's one in for you. Do you want it there?
No, he doesn't want it there. We don't serve drink in Mrs. Walker's private quarters.
Now, I've got to get this one, because if I'm not home by 1:30, she'll do her nut, and it's 22 now.
Another fellow in the doghouse. Very good.
Suppose I might as well get tanked up before I go home. Are you having another one in there?
Stick half in that.
Right, 2 hours.
2 hours.
There you are, all over.
You jammy twit. Fancy another?
I thought you had to get home.
Well, I've got half this up now, haven't I?
And I hope she slaughters you.
Thank you.
Ooh, I want something very long and very cold and something just the same straight after.
What do you want, lager?
I think we should buy Steve a drink. Well, I don't care. I just need slaking, whatever slaking is. We've got him into enough trouble.
I won't argue with you there.
Pint and 2 halves of lager, please, Bet. I'll make it a pint.
Mrs. Walker won't serve pints to women. Ladies drink halves.
Well, in that case, I'll have 2 halves. I'll be twice as ladylike, won't I? So that'll be 3 halves and a pint.
I'm never going to let you two talk me into anything again. Ever.
Well, look on the bright side, Steve. I mean, we had a nice day till we got stuck, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, terrific.
Hey, I've thought of a great story for you.
Well, it'll have to be good.
Yeah, you see, what you do is you take all that stuff back to Southport and you tell him...
I suppose you know Mike Baldwin's been looking for you.
Yeah. I'll see him tomorrow, you know.
No trouble at all.
No need to wait till tomorrow, Chuck.
Here, just a minute, where are you going?
The flying horse.
Hello, Mr. Baldwin.
Right, what happened to you this afternoon?
Well, you see, it was like this.
Look, do you mind? I'm trying to talk to him.
Well, I was only
Look, why don't you go to the flying horse, eh? I said I want to know where you've been.
Formby.
Formby? Oh, what were you doing in Formby?
I got stuck on the beach.
Oh, on the what?
Stuck in the sand with the van.
Oh, I see. You went to the beach. Oh, well, if I'd have known you were going that way, I'd have asked you to drop off at Southport with a few extra garments.
Well, I was.
Well, I wouldn't bother now because the bloke's not sure if he wants them or not. Have a nice paddle, did you, eh? Nice time.
I didn't mean it.
And where's the van now?
Outside.
Well, would you like me to trade it in for a surfboard for you, eh? That suit you?
I'm sorry, Mr.
No,
Baldwin.
don't be. I like your style. I mean, a fella that can just follow the sun, beautiful days, so he's off to the beach. No, I'm glad there are people like you in the world. The only trouble is I don't want them working for me. So tomorrow, back to the beach. You're fired.
No, I don't mind telling you, Betty. I've just about had it up to here for this one.
Oh? Does that mean you don't get on with her?
She thinks she's God's gift. She does.
Is she not up to the job?
Oh, she's up to the job, all right. She'd be up to a lot of things given half the chance. Oh, no, she can do the job. No. But it's the way she does it. Brazen isn't the word. I don't know what Mrs. Walker's thinking about. She just lowers the tone of the place completely.
Oh. How long do you think she's going to last?
As long as I let her. Because one of these days, like tomorrow, I'm going to let her know. I tell you. You'd come back if you're asked nicely, wouldn't you?
I would not.
Hey, what? Now, it's me you're talking to. You've rubbed Annie Walker's nose in it, and good luck to you. You carry on, you're just cutting your own nose off.
I'm all right as I am.
All right. Rena keeping you on here, is she?
Oh, so what? I'm not that desperate for a job.
And I thought you were on your uppers.
I'd have to be asked very nicely.
That's more like it. Now I've made my mind up. This one's not going to last very long.
What's that then? What's not going to last very long?
You just stick here and wait for the dust to settle.
What's this then?
Don't you do anything, just on my account.
Don't be so daft. I'll see you anyway.
Ooh, she's ill-mannered, is that one? Think she's God's gift.
Oh, would that be too much to ask?
Sorry, are you speaking to me?
Who do you think I'm speaking to? The man in the moon? Do you mind getting in here?
I happen to be answering a personal phone call.
We don't take personal calls here. So tell your friend that now. Come on.
I've got something to attend to, Mike. I'll ring you back after, all right?
I've got a little job for you, lovey.
Well, I don't think Glenn will fancy it.
You're kidding. I've seen Fairclough at the crack of dawn, and he's not entirely human yet.
You're telling me?
That's not what I'm paid for.
And you are not paid to sit and chat to your men friends on the telephone. You're paid to do what you're told.
I know what my job is, and it don't include cleaning out lavs.
Hey, they're spotless, them lads, spotless.
Well, if you won't do that and you won't serve ale, what will you do? A striptease on the bar top? Because you're halfway there as it is.
Oh, is that what's upsetting you? Well, I might just do that, mightn't I?
She'll not go all the way, you know. She'll not take her wig off.
I don't wear a wig. You're raving. You're demented with jealousy, aren't you?
Don't make me laugh.
He gave you the elbow, didn't he, Mike Baldwin?
I'll give you the elbow, love. I'll give you more than you bargained for.
Don't kid yourself. You haven't got what it takes. Ask Mike.
Now, girls, come on, come on.
You cheap little cow. Do you think I'm interested in who's doing you favours? Do you know, I've decided I will have that wig off your head.
Don't try it. If you want to be queen of this flea-bitten little castle, you can keep it, because I can still do better for myself. I mean, if this tatty little hole in the corner is your idea of heaven, it ain't mine. So clean out your own lavs.
Right. Hilda, do you mind stepping down the street and telling Betty there's a vacancy? Now, who's next?